Australia has a really big problem. And that problem is that the rents are rising so high, so fast, that it's exceeding people's incomes. I'm getting a lot of comments about, I've been told that, or one comment I got yesterday was that she had been told that her income to rent ratio was 52%, and sorry, no can do, no house. So what are people supposed to do? You know? And I think one of the big problems that's happening is that you may live in a home and you might have moved in there when it was $400 a week, say, and then over the last 3 years you've had rent increase, and now you're paying $700 a week, and now you've got to move. When you do move, now you're being assessed, whereas you weren't before. So each time you get a rent increase, they don't reassess your income then. They just put the rent up. So you could have 3 or 4 price rises or rent rises before you actually have to go through and be assessed again on the income that you earn. So they say you can't afford it. So then what? There's no options. There's no options for people. If you're on disability, you can have, more people in the home to try and bring the income up. Guarantors, people are getting guarantors to go onto the lease with them. Their income is then added to that pile or income for that house. You might be on two leases, and that doesn't matter so long as the income shows that on that one property you can afford it. That's all they want. You are legally responsible for that house. They can come for you for the money. So if you're in a position where you really don't earn enough money, and you don't have any family, and you don't have any friends, and you don't have any other option, and it's a 15 million year wait list for social housing, what happens? What happens? Nothing. It's a big problem. There are so many tent cities popping up around the place. Councils are getting on in Moreton Bay here, been in the news recently, with the homeless being given notices to leave and move on and not allowed to have pets, etc. But what are the options for these people? I went to a homeless breakfast with Terry Young and Mark Ryan and councillors, and they had all levels of government there. So the idea was that we would sit around and brainstorm what some options could be. There was lots of local business people there that were at this breakfast, and then we would give our little drawings and go, this is what we think might help the situation for housing, and they all just kind of passed the buck or had reasons why those things couldn't happen. So big problem, Australia. I don't know what the answers are. There were lots of good ones that came up at that breakfast, but it really needs to be looked at, and I can help as much as I can in terms of helping people with their applications to try and combat that issue as much as we can, to show how reliable they are. So there are things that we can do in lines with that, but still huge problem. And it might not affect you right now, but it might in 6 months or 12 months. If your home ends up being listed for sale and you've got to move, maybe your partner passes away and your income drops. So many scenarios for so many people, it's frightening. So yeah, big problem, Australia.